You know what, just in case this somehow actually does anything, my friend Door Shutter reminded me that there are advancements for Spectrum that might help me with progression, and there's this liquid magic one right here that apparently is right before the Enchanter that asks me what happens if I step in it. Oh, so help me if this is what I missed. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man, this, really, guys? Really? Oh, good lord, I also missed it in the quest book. It's right here. It even taunts you with it, although I'm pretty sure this is copied out of the Spectrum book. Well, I guess this means we're going to do another episode about Spectrum after all, huh? But hopefully this will be the final one, because there's not a whole lot left, I don't think. But on the upside, now that we have the Enchanter unlocked, it's not too hard to make. Obviously, the only things we couldn't make before was the Enchanter itself, which is absolutely trivial at this point. So, I guess we should just hurry up and make it, huh? Alright, now we at least have this whole ordeal done, right? See, checked off and everything right there. And as it says, we can create new enchanting books, we can upgrade the books, and we can enchant items without consuming the books. And if we go into the Spectrum manual, it has a whole section on enchanting. And it's actually fairly well documented, unlike other parts of this mod, as well as a few new enchants here. But the part that's most important to me is the upgrading the book so that we can get things like Fortune 10 on things. You know, or higher levels of protection on my nano armor that already makes me mostly invincible, right? Right? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is already kind of superfluous, but I do kind of want to see how this actually works. And looking at REI, there are an awful lot of recipes here that more than I was expecting. But most of these are the vanilla enchants, but I'm actually surprised by the number of these that I don't have discovered yet. But if we come over to enchantment upgrading, there's 95 pages of it, and man, this is going to take a whole lot of pigment. Thankfully, I've already figured out that, you know, we can just grow the trees in the greenhouses, you know, way back over there behind that thing, and then just automatically chuck them into macerators, you know, just ignore the fact that I don't have this wall filled in yet, huh? All right, so I've gone on a little bit of a journey on trying to figure out how this thing works. First off, you need a charged knowledge gem up here. We can just right click it to get it off. You can see that I've got some XP in it. You can shift right click to put XP in it, or you can just throw bottles, I think is what I use to fill it up primarily, because this takes forever. Just click to put it right back on. Then, because I wanted to try to make the efficiency book, you just array all of the items around it like this, and then put a book on there, and then it just starts up. But what I want to try to do now is actually upgrade it. Which I put these on here because it's just sort of show that you do need them on the petals in the correct order matching the recipe. So you can't have like 2 yellows over here, 2 yellows over here, and then the sugars and the quixotic powders. It has to be spread out at least in the order that the recipe has it in. 2, you can't just click the items on one at a time. It will toss them all in a stack because I believe you can keep enchanting as long as there's experience in items. And 3, I did notice some anomalies in the thing where I mentioned that there were missing recipes. Well, some of those were some of the vanilla recipes like unbreaking. So I think I might know what went wrong there, but I'll get to that in a second. For now though, let's see if we can enchant this book up to 4 or not. Nope, it only took it up to 3 and used up all the materials that were there. Well, I'm not going to claim to understand how this works yet, but while mucking around with things, I realized I never actually made the black pigment, which means I've also never made the black ink. So this might be blocking a few things. So I guess I need to go make this real fast. I wonder if I've got any black dye. Oh geez, I've apparently got a ton of. I was thinking I was even going to need to remind you that I could do this with the midnight fluid dipping. Well, black tree and black pigments achieved, but that did not seem to open up the enchant for Spectrum. It did add a new improved critical enchant that wasn't there previously. But we, much like everything else in Spectrum, are clearly still missing something. You know what? I don't even see anything in the advancements to clue me into what I might have missed here. Well, let's put that off for a while. And I do want to note that when I was working on Ad Astra, I did get the Storm Stone from a lightning storm, so that we now have this quest right here finished out. You do have to mine them manually though, but that doesn't really seem to have opened up anything too useful to us, other than maybe the Crystal Apothecary, which lets you automatically mine geodes remotely and doesn't require chunk loading. But I'm pretty sure that's not it. So I guess our options are either make the Spirit Instiller finally, or go try to break some Bedrock, huh? All right, and so this is why I'm glad sometimes I take a sleep and step away from the mod pack for a little bit to think about things and maybe go look some stuff up, because I'm kind of glad that I did, because I finally figured out where I went wrong here. This does not allow you to upgrade past the normal means for your enchants, like I was trying to do, and like I thought I had understood from talking to Relatable Gaming. Apparently I missed a step that was like super important here and has nothing to do with Spectrum. Well, not directly at least. It's this thing right here, the tool leveling table from Tool Leveling Plus, which here does require Spectrum to make it, which is mostly just a bunch of these powders, including the Onyx powders, and this right here, which we will get to that shortly, because this is where we need to use the Bottle of Ruin. So all of the times I have mentioned plus 10 tools, that's how you do it, not Spectrum, and I'm sorry for the misinformation any other time I've mentioned this. But at least it is still actually possible in this pack. I was just confused as to how it worked, but this is also why I don't like mods where there's a lot of mystery baked into it and a lot of information missing, or that you have to uncover while doing it, because it becomes very unclear what the mod can actually do or is capable of. Because like I said, there's still like things unopened in the quest book for Enchanting as it is. I don't know what's missing yet. I just know that it's not that now. All right, so the Bottle of Ruin. We're here in the Nether because I don't care if I trash the Nether dimension, because this is about to cause some bad stuff to happen. I wanted to go open up the Ancient Temple with this, because this does allow you to break Bedrock, but I need 2 of these and I don't have the means right now. And it's not that important. It's not something I consider critical for moving forward with today's episode. But to give you an idea of how bad this is, this drops down just like Fading and the Vegetal one and all the other stuff, and it starts converting the blocks around it. Now it does the Bedrock kind of slow. There you go, see it now becomes ruined here. And once it's ruined, well, we can break it. And once broken, we get Bedrock Dust, which if we look at the tool leveling table was the material we had not unlocked yet, which lets us now do this. This will continue converting all of the stuff around it as it goes, and it will spread out, and other things will get ruined here if we leave it alone, which is exactly what I'm going to do, because I don't care about the Nether right here. We're a little bit ways away from the Nether fortress we were in previously, but it doesn't matter. Oh, I do kind of want to put a waystone down here, but I'm kind of worried this will convert it. I know it can convert non-block objects. I'm actually kind of confused that this hasn't converted any of the other blocks touching it yet, though. Because I did test this out in creative. Oh, there it goes. And it does move kind of fast, but maybe that was after it already converted a handful of them. But I do need to get a couple more Bedrock before I leave here, because this did open up a couple of new entries, one of which was the tool leveling table, which is what we wanted to get to here. It also unlocks Bedrock Armor, Bedrock Tools, Blast-Proof Blocks, and the Black Hole Chest, which is not like the Black Hole Chest from Industrial Foregoing and its predecessors. It's actually like a super hopper. Oh, hello, Goblin Trader. You have... Oh, Totem Undying. I need those. I'll be right back, little dude. Okay, let's see. Totem Undying. Oh, and I can buy multiples even. Good. Where did you go? Oh no, not my little buddy. Skeletons are the worst. Oh, well, at least we got a couple when I had none previously. Now, I should note that the Bottle of Decay Away can restore stuff that's corrupted by this. I did go double check that as well. So if this does become a problem, it is sort of fixable. You know, unlike what I ran into with the Midnight Fluid just constantly re-corrupting an area. The important part is that now we can make the tool leveling table. Wow, why is this going nuts with the particle effects though? I guess we can just slap this by our other enchanting table type stuff, and let's see how this works. I have a Book of Efficiency 3 from our tests earlier. Let's see if we can make that Efficiency 5 go up. All right, so I found out part of my problem. So if you go look up documentation for the tool leveling mod on CurseForge or whatever, there's a new version of it, the 2.0 version, and this UI does not match it, nor do the instructions at all. This is the 1.4 version where it looks like you just feed it diamonds. There might be other materials. I can't figure out what they are, but this tells you what the upgrade cost is. This tells you what the current worth is, and I believe you just hit the button to level it up. And now we have Fortune 4 and way fewer diamonds. So time to go crack some more open.
And it's a ticket talking monster for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking monster for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking monster for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Alright, and with that, we are now officially massively overpowered. I'm afraid to use this thing inside my base. Now I just have to do all of the rest of my tools and equipment and probably the copies that are sitting inside here in my builder's funnel. I probably should replace these all with netherite ones as well while I'm at it. If not, bedrock to make them unbreakable. Yeah, the bedrock ones are probably the right call to make them unbreakable, huh? Yeah, so I don't ever have to swap them out of there. But more importantly, we can get really stupid with the nano saber too. Now, what does knockback 10 even do? I don't know, nor after sharpness 10 do I think it's even gonna matter. This does of course mean we do need to find something to hit to see what happens. Well, that didn't go very far back, but it also instantly died. So, anyone else? Nope. And nope. Well, it was worth a try. I was hoping for some comedy gold there. All right, short of unlocking all the doodads for all of these other things that we've got now that I don't really need or want for the most part, and other than doing the bedrock runes or the mixing runes, which we haven't found at all still, we haven't done the Spirit Instiller, and I think this is the last thing we need to go do for this pack for the most part. And honestly, this is pretty easy to make overall. It just requires azurite blocks, which is a fair chunk of azurite, but that part's easy to get. You know, I say easy enough, but I barely had enough even with that Fortune 10 pickaxe just now to make what I needed. Now, to be clear, the Spirit Instiller is also yet another multi-block, so we need to go set this up, huh? Oh, and these onyx chiseled blocks, that might be a problem. Whew, those are kind of pricey. Although thankfully I have enough left over for now. But maybe I do need to go find those mixing runes because my friend Doorshutter said that's where we can get budding clusters of that, similar to the normal geodes. Oh, and it occurs to me I never showed what the universe spy hole does. It lets you just slap that down, and then you can look basically under the walls of the world to see it, like when the game is corrupting, to show you what's around you. You can kind of find things that way, like there's an emerald geode down there. But like I have yet to see like a mixing ruins here or any other ruins of any sort. There was actually supposed to be one under my base somewhere and I can't find it. Because they do show up in the Explorer's Compass. If we come down here, you can find if we just search for ruins, you can see there's pedestal runes for Spectrum listed in here. And if we click on them, we can find them. Like let's go to the stone ruins right here. The closest one's 49 blocks away somewhere. Like it should be in that direction. And yet if we look through this, there's like nothing because our base is here possibly. Like we come down to our storage room, it's supposed to be about 16 blocks in this direction. So let's slap it up against that wall and look through it. Oh no! Let's fix that real fast. Like I said, let's slap it down where we can actually look and... Oh my god, it's right there. How did I miss this? Well, I guess it's time for a field trip, huh? Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but there's like a hopper down here, a loot chest right here with a bunch of dyes in it. And then nothing blocking my way in here yet. This is clearly one of the structures or is related to it. But I just don't see anything special in here. Maybe this is just a dungeon. Well, I'm very confused, but I guess there's nothing there of any value, so we can just cover that back up. Well, there's supposed to be a deep slate one on the other side of my base over here somewhere, so I guess let's pop another spy hole down and take a look. What, I missed something obvious here too, huh? You know what? Maybe I need to go deeper. Let's go into my mine and go take a look, huh? Okay, almost there down here with all this broken stuff around. Well, I'm not seeing anything other than a whole lot of other terrain under me, so I guess we need to go deeper still. Well, it's got to be either a ways under us where I can't see it, or I'm very confused. But it looks like I already dug a borehole down. Is that my hole down to bedrock? Maybe I should have fallen down that. Oh, I think that's it right there in front of me. That's weird that it's only sort of working. I wonder how I get into it, though. Well, this is looking to be like more of the same as the other one that I ran into, with more dyes. No weird hoppers this time, though. But the room appears to be set up more or less the same. I could get some whole bunch of free calcite and basalt if I needed, I guess. But I'm not really seeing anything of interest or value here. This also doesn't look like it added anything about mixing runes in here. And yeah, even the quest book mentions that they should be like unbreakable things like the ancient runes wherein there should be spore blossoms, which I'm not seeing at all. So yeah, I'm assuming these are the wrong runes entirely, and this is just something else that just happens to be added by Spectrum. And I just haven't had any luck finding the things we need yet. That's great. Well, I guess that's enough of that, and we should just get around to making the Spirit Instiller. Yeah, we move on with our day, get this done. And by get her done, I mean not have a panic attack, because this can be any gem, so chisel blocks, it didn't have to be the onyx one. That makes this a lot easier.
I can't start writing, I know it's coming. I need inspiration. 지난번 밤하늘 밤이라도 그저 바라바라 왔지만 쉽게 돌아오지 않던 color. Says to myself lately, open your heart to see it. Shout, she got it this playground of your.
Well, I'm not entirely certain how I feel about the iron bars at the top there, but I needed something to hang the chimes from, otherwise this wouldn't work. And yeah, those did need to be onyx ones, unfortunately. It made it look like they weren't in the visualizer, but then it wouldn't work without them. So let's see, click that and I should unlock some stuff. It looks like the main thing here are the memories, which it looks like we need to start with the head of something to be able to combine with some other stuff to make a memory of an animal or whatever. And looking inside the quest log, yeah, that unlocked the memory right here, which just parrots back the exact same instructions. But thankfully REI has the instructions for us sitting in here, not that I have any idea what these actually do. But let's find something we have a head for, and let's go give this a try. Well, this is distressing, I don't seem to have any heads. That doesn't seem like it should be right. It looks like we may need to make the treasure hunter enchant to get the heads in this pack, unfortunately. But thankfully this doesn't look too arduous to make, since we at least have the storm stones already. And at least I already know how this part works. I guess now we have a use for the watcher though, at least. And we certainly know how to add some extra cheese to this, right? Well, I can say this sort of looks absolutely ridiculous just sitting here on this table though. Hello darkness, my old friend. It's time to murder mobs again, because we need some mob heads. I'm sure not getting any heads. And of course, the phantom immediately gives me one of the heads. Not the membrane that I could have used. Well, at least we know this thing is working. Man, even at sharpness 10, this takes a while to kill creepers. Alright, we're at least back home with a couple different mob heads now. My gut tells me that this is probably just going to spawn monsters, but we won't know till we try, huh? And when opening up the Spectrum manual to try to find the Spirit Instiller instructions to figure out what the Neolith or the Vegetal's for, I found this. I don't even know where to start with this, and I'm kind of scared. All right, assuming I understand this, the head goes here, the rotten flesh goes there, and the vegetal goes there. And yep, it's starting. This is going to take about 40 seconds. Well, that's not a mob farm. That is indeed a zombie memory, which did complete this. Oh, but it looks like you place the memory, this down at X, kind of like an egg. Weird. Well, some part of this opened up the idols here, however. I don't entirely know what the memories are for, because this takes heads, but each one does something a slightly bit different. Oh, hey, this is useful for getting phantoms, though, right here. And we do have phantom heads. And automatically shearing sheep is actually interesting if I actually needed wool, which I don't. But other than that, I don't know what I actually did here, so let's put this down and see what happens. I don't know what to expect here other than a zombie to pop out, though. F3 doesn't seem to have anything useful, and it just tells me it's a Spectrum memory. There's no status on it at all. Well, it just binged, so I don't know what this means. I don't know what's going on here. Well, Spectrum apparently is wasting my time. Again, I've been sitting here for a couple minutes, it binged a couple times, and then it's just done a whole lot of nothing. I'm pretty sure this is just going to spawn a zombie and attack me at some point, though. If I find out differently, I guess I'll let you all know. But I think we need to call the episode here, folks, because it doesn't feel like I did a whole lot other than make really, really overpowered equipment this episode. But I think I've mostly capped off Spectrum now, finally, at least the parts of it that I'm going to care about, if at all. So I'm going to need to go through and, clear out all of the rest of these items at some point and, make all the Bedrock tools and whatnot, but I will get to that later when I actually care to go clear all this out, which is not right now. Instead, let's grab what loot we can get and see if this helps us out, though. So the answer is no, not overly. We did get a bunch of free Bedrock dust, but I can always go back downstairs and ruin the nether again if I want. We got this jade jelly, which it looks like it's just food, but I know one of the things you can find in the mixing things is like a jade bulb, and this might be related to that. But I mean, obviously I can't find the mixing runes. I've looked around. I have no clue, guys. And then there's this block flutter, which yeah, it fills an area, which I don't need to do to my base anytime soon. So not really all that exciting. Anyhow, I'm honestly going to say I'm pretty happy to be mostly done with progressing through Spectrum, because now I can go back to ignoring it, and I got the one thing out of it that I'd wanted and probably don't need now, which is the Enchanter and the upgraded stuff from the tools. So, yeah. Hooray. So if you found this episode interesting and entertaining, please remember to like or subscribe if you're new. As always, I'm Ard. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.